You have to possess your future. Take it by the throat and determine that it's not too late. I don't care what you did. I don't care whether you've been in drugs. I don't care whether you've been in the street. I don't care whether you've been through bankruptcy. I don't care whether you lost your house. God is a God of second chances, brother. Get back up again.
Now, some people have counted themselves out because, like you say, they've been out there prostituting, been in jail 5 times, been married 7 times, so forth. But God don't make no mistakes. He will choose you and make you what He wants you to be. He's a heart fixer, Bishop, and a mind regulator. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. With the way things are changing in the world as it relates to job opportunities, the machines we have created are putting us out of a job. That's one problem. Then we've seen a lot of jobs go overseas. That's another problem. And people are trying to resuscitate these communities. The other thing that I think people don't understand, if you preach the gospel right, and you preach it with power, you're going to put people out of business as it relates to how they used to make a living. So if I used to make a living in something that was dishonorable, and because I accepted Christ, I have now been out of business. If you don't put something in that place, I'm in trouble. You know? Am I right about it? I'm just going to bring it right down front. The other thing is we need our young people to see that it is possible to serve God and be successful. We need them to see that. They admire, all they have to admire is a small cluster of people, and many times, particularly in Chicago, but it's here in Dallas, New York, and other places, the people they see that are doing well or selling drugs or prostitution or something like that, to see people who go into business and see people who do some of the things that you're teaching people to do is part of your witness.
My goodness. You know, a lot of them, a lot of times, they don't think they have any other choice. And what I teach people is, you know, money is not the real problem. The amount that you're bringing in from your job, that's not the real issue. The issue is what you choose to create. And that there are some things and forces out there. I understand that. But I got to get them out of looking at that as my issue and start right here and say, okay, now what do I have in my house that I can work with? Are you following what I'm saying, Bishop? What do I have? We have a dear sister, she was on welfare. I mean, she was just tired of welfare. And she said she started thinking and praying about it. And apparently something came up in her. How about your great-grandmother's syrup recipe? Long story short, boom, from welfare to millionaire.
Wow.
Not only that, this product is in all these grocery stores. Start making it first in a basement. Come in here, children. Help me pour this syrup in these bottles. You got what I'm saying?
Right.
What do you have in your house? Because God gives us all something to work with.
Oh, God, I'm getting happy already.
A scarcity mentality says, I have nothing. An abundance mentality says, I'm about to find something. And that's what we got to do.
You know, I'm getting excited because I really, really do believe that we are overlooking. Most of the people in the Bible that had something in their house didn't recognize it. They didn't see it as a resource. A pot of oil she's stepping over, a handful of meal she doesn't see as nothing but something to eat and die. And then God comes along through a prophet and shows you how to use what you've been stepping over to get to what you've been praying for. You know, that kind of thing is so exciting. When you look at that and you see that happening, I think that has a lot to do with why you are seeing such an influx of people in your church and in your ministry, and particularly men. Because, see, we have so emotionalized our services that we have emotionalized men out the door. Because the services are kind of designed for women, and because it is designed for women, when you go fishing, you catch what you bait for. You see? So you understand? So if the service is just nothing but exuberance and emotions and connecting with God in a worshipful way, and men, especially who they come out of a secular environment, they're not feeling that. They're standing there, they're bored. They're standing up there like that. But when you start talking to a man about vision and possibilities and power and potential, and you can still be somebody, he starts getting, then we start worshiping. Glory to God, hallelujah, because a man needs a plan, he needs a purpose, he needs a goal, and he needs a vision.
And the other thing, is God. In Nehemiah chapter 2, I think it is, it says that he said, I fulfill the vision or something like that that God placed in my heart. And over in Acts chapter 26, the Apostle Paul says, I was not disobedient to the heavenly vision. Now, what I'm saying is this. I watch how God drops things on me in the vision. Now, the thing of it is, it's usually so big until it is impossible for me to fulfill it without God. And so he drops something. Now, the tendency is for us to try to take his vision and pull it down and scale it down to where we can do it ourselves. He didn't want that. He wants us to change our mindset and be like Jabez, you know, enlarge the borders of my tent so I can go up and be and do all that you called me to do.
You know, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time. Even in the midst of doors closing, opportunities diminishing, and people really struggling, looking for somebody. From every 4 years, we're looking for somebody who's going to save us. But I think that we are the people we have been waiting on. You understand? I'm not looking to the White House.
Come on.
I'm not looking to the White House to do this. Whatever they do, God bless them. I wish them the best. I'm praying for it. I want it to go well.
Absolutely.
But all the while they're fighting, we got people hungry, dying, in trouble, shooting each other, shooting up drugs in their veins. I can't wait for them to stop fighting and figure out what they're going to do. You have to possess your future. Take it by the throat and determine that it's not too late. I don't care what you did. I don't care whether you've been in drugs. I don't care whether you've been in the street. I don't care whether you've been through bankruptcy. I don't care whether you lost your house. God is a God of second chances, brother. Get back up again.
Now, Bishop, you're going to make me preach.
I feel it, man.
I watched how Nebuchadnezzar went down in Daniel chapter 1, and he took Judah, took the people, and brought them into captivity. All right. He said, now take the ones that blemish-free, good backgrounds, college degree. I'm putting it in my own words now. Take them and leave the others there. Why? Because he felt that this is what he needed to help further his kingdom.
Right.
And he left the others there.
You're right.
Now, when God chooses...
Come on now. Oh, I love it.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I do. Come on with it. I love it.
God chose Gideon. Gideon himself knew he was stupid. He said, who, me?
Right.
He said, yes, you. And I saw in Numbers 11 where God took the spirit off of Moses and put it on all those that were going to assist him. Now that means that God can have you go to bed one way and wake up the next moment. Come on, Bishop. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do see it. I do see it. I'm living it.
See, because some people have counted themselves out because, like you say, they've been out there prostituting, been in jail 5 times, been married 7 times, so forth. But God don't make no mistakes. He will choose you and make you what he wants you to be. He's a heart fixer, Bishop, and a mind regulator.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, you got me preaching
I feel it. Woo! This kind of hope is so important. You know, it's so important. I think that the women are getting it. We've got more women going to college than we ever have in the history of this country. We've got more women going into business. Minority women in particular are even excelling their Caucasian counterparts, opening up business, going into it. Women are going to college. They're going back to school. Grandma's going back to school. They're opening up businesses and going for it. The problem is the guys are feeling kind of lost. Who am I in this climate? A lot of them didn't have fathers to guide them. Absentee fathers, workaholic fathers, even preaching fathers who were on the road all the time. And a father gives a man a guide, says, you are headed this way. When you don't get the guide, you're left to the streets to guide you. You see? And the notion, and I'm going to upset some people with this, the notion that a mother can be a mother and a father, I understand the idea. I know you mean mean well, but there are some things that you need a man to point you in the right direction.
Yes,
you know what? We are necessary. We're necessary. We're necessary. So if you're going to write me, go ahead and write me. You can put the address on the screen. But men are necessary.
Yes, they are.
There are some things that a man can get through to a young man that other people cannot. And we need our fathers back in the house of God to lead and direct the men of God where they need to go.
And Bishop, the reason why the man was formed first is because he was the foundation here.
Yes.
And so the most of the weight is on the foundation.
Right.
And I'd say some, women are trying to carry a load that they weren't designed to carry.
Right.
And are you following what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh, I do.
Thank God that God can help us.
It looks like the women agree with this.
But I've been preaching lately on restoring the years. I want to go back to the foundation. I want to go back to how God originally planned it to be.
Yes, sir.
And men are now they're in Chicago. I know you've heard about the violence, where they're taking chances because they think they have no choices.
Wow, taking chances because they think they have no choice. That's a powerful statement.
So we've got to open up some things to them. And these are young men.
Yes.
And they're trying to make it themselves, but they've had no role models. They've had no this and that. So I think this waking up of our men is going to come back into the church.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. You know, the late Dr. Miles Monroe used to teach this principle. I thought it was very, very powerful and profound. He was talking about being born again. He said Jesus did not preach about born again. He said he didn't preach born again. He said you can search the scriptures from beginning to the end. You don't find Jesus preaching born again. And I thought to myself, oh, wait, I don't know about that. That doesn't sound good. He said, no. Jesus preached the kingdom.
Yes, sir.
He said he preached the kingdom. He preached the kingdom. He preached the kingdom. He said when he got to making them understand how beautiful the kingdom of heaven is like it. The kingdom of heaven is like it. Then when they said, how do I get in the kingdom? Then he said, you must be born again.
Exactly
I think we're trying to get people to join the church and get in the choir, but we haven't really taught them the powers of the kingdom. What God will do, what he's able to do, what he can do in your life and how he can set you free. And if we let them understand that God has a purpose and a plan for you, I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what they've said about you. I don't care what's happening in your life right now. God has a plan for you. He has a plan for your son. Single mothers, he has a plan for your son. Don't let that boy lay up in the house eating cereal at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Get him up out of the bed. God has a plan for your life.
You know, I see one of the things that people have to have. They have to see a glorious future. Now, why do I say that? For people to let go where they are, they're going to have to see something better.
Right.
And what our job is to help paint that picture that there is a better life that you can live. Because they're thinking, well, drugs is the better life. This is the way I'm going to get this car, so forth and so on. But there is a way that you can get that. We're trying to even put people of color into that digital space. Because it seems to be there's an obvious absence.
There's an absence.
And so we need to cut into that space. Now, this is for all people because we are a church of all nations. But I want to get people to the maximum of what God has placed for them to be and to do.
Absolutely.
And to do that, sometimes you got to really, really put in them the fact that there is potential in you that is so explosive.
Yes.
And people it's like a doctor who's got an office and he's got the shingle out that says closed. Well, you got a line of people down the hall waiting on you to open up.
Right.
And I like who Dr. Miles Monroe said. He said the richest place in the earth is not the oil fields of Kuwait or the diamond mines of Africa, but the richest place in the earth is a graveyard. That's where dreams have been buried.
Wow.
That's where potential is.
Wow.
So we got to get them to shake them loose of where they are right now, get up and walk.
You know something, I'm thinking there might be a pastor out there watching me right now. You're trying to get your church to grow. You need to just reverse your technique a little bit. You've been trying to get the men to come to church so that you can fulfill your vision. But the way to get men to come to church is that God wants to use you to help give them their vision. Jesus said, you get what I'm saying? Jesus said it like this. he found all kinds of men. They were different walks of life. Some of them were in business, some of them were tax collectors, some of them were physicians, what have you. He said, I don't care what you were doing before, it is menial compared to what I'm going to call you to do. Follow me and I will make you. Not follow me so you can make me. Follow me and I will make you. When people know that your ministry is to lift them up and not lift you up, they will follow you. Am I right about it?
Come on, Doc.